What's going on, guys? It's Anime One back here with another video, and today I'm here with another one-part series of what if Obito didn't turn evil. So again, this one-part series, I'll at least do them one video like this in 1 week. So if you guys want to comment down any ideas of any one-part series like this, comment down them below. I'll do it, of course, of any anime. That doesn't any have to specific with Naruto. I'll do it of any anime, since I do want to expand my channel to all kind of anime. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let's start the video. So first things first, to lay down the foundation of Obito never turning out evil would be the fact that he doesn't go to Madara, or the second fact that Obito actually doesn't see Rin die. Either one of the two will make Obito not turn to the evil side precisely. So let's get to the first formation of this. What if? The first one will be, of course, Obito not getting crushed by the rocks and not going to the Madara, which is very unlikely to happen since, Obito did save Kakashi and give him his eye. And I do not think that situation would happen unless Kakashi uses his brain and Chidori's the rock away that was, stomping Obito, but still, even then, it would be a huge burden for Kakashi and Rin to carry out almost a dead Obito. So I don't think Obito would survive in that situation, since, with Madara, at least you could survive by getting white Zetsu cells. So I'm gonna roll out that situation. The second situation is Obito would actually be taken by Madara, and Madara would try to manipulate Obito's mind, but again, Obito was still strong up to some point. Obito would still be strong, but the thing is, in this scenario, Obito is still not fully recovered, even with all the training and white Zetsu stuff he's gone through, right? So when Rin actually gets stabbed in the heart by Kakashi, Obito doesn't see it. And then, of course, at some point of time, Obito does recover fully, and then he goes back to Leaf, and then he gets the message that Kakashi or Rin is killed. And since Obito this time is not alone, he has Kakashi and Minato with him, I do think that they'll be able to stray him from the path of darkness and bring him back to the light, and especially with Kushina. If you guys do not know, in the light novels, actually, Obito and Kushina have a very special relationship, like a mother and a son, since Obito really didn't have parents. So that would be that. Obito would unlock his Mangekyo because of that as well, so with Kakashi. Now, here is where things start getting different. Once Madara does know that Obito has left all his goals behind, Madara would get angry, but I do think that Madara would find other Uchiha to carry out his plans. Now, everything would go pretty much the same as it did in canon until the Nine-Tails attack. The unknown Uchiha that Madara had chosen to go instead of Obito to the Leaf Village would go to the Leaf Village, extract the Nine-Tails from Kushina, just the same way, or he might not be able to, since Obito was very, very, very strong only due to his Kamui. The Kamui is a fucking broken jutsu, and in this scenario, Obito is sort of with Konoha, and he also has his Kamui. So I do not think the Uchiha, unless he or she also has a broken ass dojutsu ability like Obito, might be able to, extract the Nine-Tails. That's the first situation. If the unknown Uchiha does have a very strong Mangekyo and he's able to extract the Nine-Tails from Kushina, and everything would go as the same as Ken and Minato would beat the unknown Uchiha, and he would have to sacrifice his life in order to seal the Nine Tails. There's simply no other way that I can see this turning around unless Minato actually sacrifices Kushina in order to seal the Nine Tails, which I doubt that Minato would do. And I also think, since it's highly unlikely that the unknown Uchiha has a teleportation jutsu like Obito, he'll be able to escape Minato. So I do think the unknown Uchiha would die by Minato's hands. And if not, if he escapes, that's another situation. That's another situation that we have to come up with. Okay, so the first situation is kind of clear. Minato and Kushina survive since the Masked Man is defeated before he could extract the Nine Tails from Kushina. Naruto would go on to have a normal life, and yeah, everything is gonna be jovial, happy-go-lucky. Nothing is gonna change much. Yeah, the Akatsuki is still gonna be there and all that stuff. But the second part, where the unknown Uchiha dies and Minato along with Kushina also dies. In this situation, I do think that Obito had already manipulated Nagato, and I do think that unknown Uchiha would also manipulate Nagato to join the Akatsuki and do his biddings. So I do think that Nagato's mind would still be on that, whether he has quote-unquote Madara Uchiha supporting him or not. I do think that Zetsu is gonna warp Nagato's mind away, manipulate him, just like he did with Obito. And this situation, since Minato died, I do think that Hiruzen would take back the role, since Obito is still not old enough to become Hokage. I do think that Obito would be one of the strongest Jonins, even surpassing the likes of Kakashi in terms of strength and hacks because of his Kamui, and he would be very close to Hiruzen's level, or even above at that point. Obito would, again, after some years, Naruto would grow up, and in this case, there are so many variables. First of all, if the council or Obito actually might threaten the council by saying that it's a sensei's son, and if they do not agree with him, he might leave the village. Obito was a very compassionate man, and he saw Kushina as a mother and Minato as a father that he never had. So he will think of Naruto as a brother, and I do think that he will take him in. And Naruto might have an older brother while growing up. Sooner or later, when Hiruzen gets old and Obito is handed down the mantle of the 5th Hokage, I do think that's gonna happen. Danzo might oppose to this, but I do not think anyone can stop this from happening, especially since Obito is sort of like a hero in the war and in the Nine Tails invasion. I do not think anyone has the power to stop him at this point, not even Hiruzen. I do think that Obito is the strongest in the entire Leaf Village right now, because again, his Kamui and his Mangekyo are just completely broken, right? After that fact, since Obito is pretty busy becoming the Hokage, I do think that Naruto is gonna be lonely, and he will play pranks and all that stuff to get Obito's attention, his quote-unquote brother or dad, whatever you want to call him. Obito again would train Naruto, so I do not think Naruto would be the dead last in the academy. At least he would be average. Naruto again is gonna fail the bell test. There's no fact getting around that, unless Obito teaches him the Shadow-Clone Jutsu. And the first option is Obito teaches Naruto the Shadow-Clone Jutsu, and Naruto passes the Genin test. Or the second option is Obito doesn't teach Naruto the Shadow-Clone Jutsu, and Naruto failed the test, and everything else pretty much goes as the canon. Irika saves Naruto. And since Obito is the 5th Hokage, the Uchiha massacre is avoided. Of course, because the Uchiha in the first place, they were planning a coup d'etat because they're being pushed back into the village and they're being ostracized by the village as a whole. And if that doesn't happen, and that could really be avoided because Obito is loved by the village, he's an Uchiha, and there's an Uchiha Hokage, and because of that, the Uchiha do have much of a power in the village as compared to the original series. So Obito being alive changes a lot of things. The second thing is Orochimaru. That's very strange to say because first, if Obito was with Hiruzen when he went to kill Orochimaru, I do not think Obito would just simply let Orochimaru go. I do think Obito is gonna kill him. Obito is gonna kill the fucker. Or second, if Hiruzen doesn't goes, Obito doesn't goes with Hiruzen, and that happens, Orochimaru escapes. So as you guys can see, there are many possibilities that can happen in this, right? Obito, it depends. Again, in my opinion, Hiruzen wouldn't take Obito since, there's so many other ninjas in the villages that Hiruzen could have taken with him to kill Orochimaru when he found out about the experiments, but he didn't. So I don't think he would actually take Obito, but so I do think that Orochimaru would escape. Now it comes down to the tuning exam parts. Tuning exam parts. Orochimaru would be or not be after Sasuke. This is a very, very, very hard topic to get in hand of because first of all, the Uchiha clan is alive, and if Orochimaru does decide to take over a young Uchiha's body, it might happen because the whole Uchiha clan is alive, and just kidnapping one of the Uchihas for Orochimaru is not going to be a tough job since, it's a whole clan instead of one person being alive. Since in the original, only Sasuke was a loyal Uchiha to the village, and Itachi was just out of Orochimaru's hand. A lot of security was around Sasuke, so Orochimaru had to be really careful while taking Sasuke away. But here, the whole Uchiha clan is alive, so the situation might be that Orochimaru first gets a Sharingan, which is terrifying, I admit it, but it might happen. Second, when the tuning exams happen, Hiruzen and Obito both are in the booth fighting Orochimaru. I know I also forgot to mention that Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura, I do think they're going to be in the same team. More or less, I don't think that's going to change much, so that's for that. Orochimaru, yeah, we're up to Orochimaru versus Obito and Hiruzen. Orochimaru with the Sharingan versus Obito and Hiruzen, and this would be really a hard fight to speculate because I personally do think that Obito should be above Orochimaru at this point, since Obito does know Izanagi and so many other jutsu. I do think that Obito would get an eye transplant at this point of one of the dead Uchihas, so I do think he's gonna have both of his eyes. Maybe not both Mangekyo, but at least one Mangekyo and one normal Sharingan. So he might use the Izanagi, since Madara did give him the knowledge of the Izanagi. And also, not to mention the fact that Obito has to inform the others about Madara and where Madara's hideout was. Now, if that happens, the Leaf Village would immediately go to investigate Madara or where he was staying and find the dead corpse of Madara if Madara has already not figured that out and the unknown Uchiha has already hidden Madara's corpse away. And maybe the more likely situation is that they don't find anything in the cave that Madara was currently located at, since Madara is very sneaky, and the unknown Uchiha that he trained will also be really sneaky and manipulative. And once that happens, let's get on to the fight with Orochimaru and Hiruzen. I just wanted to cover that Madara power up. And the fight with Orochimaru, Hiruzen, and Obito would be fairly one-sided with Obito and Hiruzen winning. I do think that Hiruzen would take care of the Kages, and he would still use the Reaper Death Seal that he used before. But to seal the other two Kages away, there's not other way. The other way that I can think going around is Obito simply sucking both of the Hokages away in his Kamui dimension, and that being that. I do not think that Orochimaru can control Edo Tensei from a whole dimension away, so I do think that the other Edo Tenseis are going to be taken care of fairly easily, with Obito just sucking them into his Kamui dimension. And as for Orochimaru, Hiruzen and Obito tagging Orochimaru at the same time, Sharingan or not, Orochimaru doesn't stand a chance, and more than likely he is killed over here, since if Orochimaru does try to escape, Obito can just teleport to him, unlike the other Kages that were there, they could not teleport to Orochimaru. Obito would know Orochimaru's signature, so he could teleport to Orochimaru at any given time and just kill him. So Orochimaru would be dead in this scenario. I don't think Orochimaru would survive if Obito and Hiruzen jumped him at the same time. Now, as for Kisame and Itachi part, that wouldn't necessarily happen, since Itachi and Kisame invaded the village because Itachi really wanted to check up on Sasuke, and since Sasuke is living a happy life with Itachi and Shisui is also alive, that's not gonna happen. And when Obito does hear that the Danzo attacked Shisui, let me tell you, hell is gonna break loose. Obito, along with Hiruzen and the others, are gonna go downstairs, disband the route that Hiruzen already did, and kill Danzo or not. That's one of the things that I'm not sure about. If it was only up to Obito's hand, I do think Obito's gonna fuck Danzo up, but if Hiruzen somehow persuades Obito not to kill Danzo, then he's most likely not to kill Danzo. But I do think that Hiruzen is gonna manage to calm down Obito to not to kill Danzo, since his root operatives are still needed for the dark missions done in the Leaf Village. Jiraiya would still take Naruto as an apprentice, and he would also inform Obito about the rising group known as the Akatsuki. The Akatsuki would this time would have 9 members as an original, but in this time the unknown Uchiha would be the partner of Kisame instead of a father. Instead of Itachi being the partner of Kisame, since they don't have extra member and Itachi is simply, not there. So, yeah, that's for that. And the time skip happens then. Gaara and the invasion, again Naruto, I do think he would manage to befriend Gaara. Gaara would become the Kazekage and he would get captured. Obito would send the original team that Tsunade had sent, and talking about Tsunade, Obito would give the order to Jiraiya and Naruto to bring back Tsunade, since many people in the village were severely injured in the invasion, and that was one of the main reasons why the Leaf Village needed Tsunade in the first place. I do think that they would bring Tsunade back, like how they did in the original. Obito, along with Tsunade, that would be his advisor, along with Hiruzen, would set Naruto and the other teams to go, the original team, to go after the Akatsuki that had captured the Kazekage. Everything would go pretty much the same as it did in canon. Now, from here is where it starts getting a little interesting. as we know in the canon, what was his name? Yeah, Kagazu and Hidan had actually killed Asuma. Obito, Obito, in my personal opinion, they would have somewhat of a way to contact Obito from a long distance or send some kind of signal that they are in danger. Obito would actually give them something, since they are fighting the Akatsuki and they don't have a S-rank ninja with them. Unlike the previous team, which had Kakashi in it, which he was an S-rank ninja, whether you guys want to believe that or not. Kakashi in the Shippuden era with his Mangekyo is an S-rank ninja. Let's not get into that. Obito, I do think, would do that, and the Shikamaru would immediately summon Obito once he sees Asuma's, pretty much almost on the verge of death. Once Obito does arrive there with the help of his Kamui, he would immediately pretty much handle Hidan without much of a difficulty. Sucking him into the Kamui dimension, down you go. Kakazu, on the other hand, it will be a long extended battle, but in the end, Obito would win, since, again, Kamui is broken, right? There's no fact getting around that. Kamui is broken. Once that happens, 2 Akatsuki members are taken care of. The unknown Uchiha would start getting pissed, since Obito's, kind of fucking up all of his plans. So that would happen, and sooner or later, Jiraiya would go to the, Hidden Rain Village to investigate. Now, it's sort of, I don't know, at the same time I know that Obito might have given the same ceiling or anything that related to it that he gave the other ninjas to contact him immediately if they're in danger. And if Jiraiya, if he chooses to contact Obito if he's in danger, and kind of make Obito teleport there and just suck him into the Kamui dimension and go and escape, that might happen. Or in the second case, Jiraiya might just be too prideful and, not summon Obito but die, and giving Naruto the message that he loves him very much. And that would be that. I do think the second option is more likely, that Jiraiya wouldn't summon Obito, since he wouldn't want the Hokage of the Leaf Village, to be, in danger by the leader of the Akatsuki. Once that happens, the unknown Uchiha would order Pain to attack the Hidden Leaf Village and retrieve the 9 tails. Pain would attack the village, but it wouldn't go so simple in this time. Hiruzen is alive along with Tsunade, who is in the village. Hiruzen and Tsunade, in my opinion, would not be enough to take care of Pain, but they would at least, mostly take care of him, only exception being the Diva Path that would be left. And Naruto, in a sage mode, wouldn't even have to arrive if Obito just decides, yeah, I just want to, kind of suck him into my Kamui dimension and just be done with it. Yeah, I do think that's gonna happen. And Obito and the leader of the Akatsuki, Pain, is gonna die, at least in this version. And Sage mode, Naruto, they all pretty much figured out the Pain was being controlled by some master puppeteer. So I do think that's gonna happen the same, and they're gonna teleport right to where Nagato is. Conan is gonna try to do something, but she really can't, since it's kind of impossible. Hiruzen, Tsunade, and Obito, and Kakashi, and Guy. I could just keep on going and going. There's so many strong shinobis at this point that it's not even funny. Not to mention Itachi and Shisui are still alive and good to go. So, the Uchiha clan is alive too. So, the Pain invasion would fail, and Pain would not be in a good state. Nagato would be killed because, Naruto is not the one who's confronting him. it's the others, since the battle would be fairly quickly over, and when until the time Naruto arrives, the battle would be over and Pain would be killed. I do think that Naruto is gonna be a little pissed that they took away his revenge, but Obito, who is a father and a mentor, a guardian of Naruto, would convince or calm Naruto down, and that would be the end of that. Now on to the next arc, the Fourth Great Ninja War. The Fourth Great Ninja War, on the other hand, it's complicated. It's really complicated, since this unknown Uchiha that we don't know what kind of power he has, and not to mention the fact that Sasuke is really not in the Akatsuki, since Orochimaru is kind of dead, and Sasuke does have his full family, so he's not completely controlled by hatred. So the Fourth Great Ninja War, even if it happened, the unknown Uchiha side, they would lose pretty bad. Like, I mean, goddamn honest. The only possibility that can happen if somehow Madara is revived, but again, the possibility of that happening are also very, very, very low, since Kabuto is kind of dead, and I doubt the unknown Uchiha would want to revive Madara by sacrificing himself. But if the unknown Uchiha did revive Madara by sacrificing himself because of the Rainier Rebirth jutsu, that's when things are gonna go south. Right, that's when things are gonna go south. Again, Naruto and the others are gonna be in the Naruto is gonna be training with Killer Bee. I don't think that's gonna change even a bit. Hiruzen, Tsunade, and Jiraiya, whom I presume is dead in the story, along with Obito and the other Kages, are gonna fight Madara, which I'm assuming the unknown Uchiha is dead, because I doubt that unknown Uchiha, even with the Rinnegan, can stand up to Obito himself, let alone all the 5 Kage together. The unknown Uchiha is not Obito White Mask powerful level. The Kamui is this broken. I don't know how many times I've said this, but Kamui is broken. Yes. So get on to the fact. Now, Madara would see Obito and he would be like, the brat that I saved so many years ago. I wanted you to repay back your debt to me, but I guess that's not gonna happen. He's gonna say something along those lines. This battle is gonna be very tough, even for Madara, because remember, Obito in the original with the Rinnegan was a fucking monster. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that he was a monster. Kamui would be trouble for Madara, there's no doubt about it. Obito does have wood style, so he would, know what Madara's abilities are. But I do think the Madara is gonna come on top when all of this is over. And he has both of his Rinnegan. Madara alive with both of his Rinnegan, but in this case he doesn't have Sage mode. All the tail beasts instead of Killer Bee and Naruto are captured just like the original, and Madara would be able to capture both Killer Bee and Naruto. I mean, that's kind of obvious, since the other Kages are kind of fucked, even including Obito. So yeah, that would happen. But again, there's nothing else anyone can do, since Orochimaru and the others, Orochimaru is kind of dead, and Kabuto is really not alive, so Edo Tenseis are not gonna be a factor. So the 4 Kages won't be revived from the past to help, aka meaning Naruto is gonna die, yeah, in this scenario. And Kaguya is gonna be revived just like the original, and Kaguya is gonna win if things go the way I told them. As I said, These discussions are more like a discussion purely based on facts, rather than giving Naruto all the plot armor that he needs in the entire world. I'd rather not do that, because if I do that, then it's gonna, completely destroy the point of doing this discussion videos. So yeah, if the unknown Uchiha does revive Madara, then things will go the way I said them they will go. But if not, well, yeah, Uchiha is gonna die a pitiful death, and everything is gonna be turn out to be a happy ending. Naruto might have a child with Hinata, and everything is gonna be fucked up again when the Otsutsuki arrive. So yeah, it's not really gonna be a happy ending. Yeah, I just realized that right now. Since the Sage of the Sixth Path really never interfered. If the unknown Uchiha decided to die by Obito or the Kage's hand, yeah, that would be pretty bad. So if you guys liked this kind of discussion videos, one part discussion videos, please comment down any of your ideas of Naruto, Boruto, or any other anime in that matter, since I really do want to expand my channel to others anime as well. So I hope you guys liked the video right now, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. So yeah, guys, have a great day, and well, peace out.